So, MindsEye Update 8 came out, and I just want to give my thoughts on it. I've been really critical of the game, not because I'm like some hater or some asshole, but because I genuinely want this game to be the best it can be because it still has a lot of potential. I really love this game, but it's still lacking a lot and it has its flaws. And that's why I'm making this video. So yeah, I have over 500 hours in MindsEye. I'm a really big fan of this game. I did not like Update 7. Update 7 was, in my opinion, the worst update. I believe the game was in an even worse state than it was when it came out. Even if it was more polished, even if the gameplay was better, it was like so much was removed. You know, by that point, free roam was gone. Even if free roam was terrible, it was still nice to have some sort of option to like free roam in the game. Like you just had the Arcadia mode, and at the time it was just the Build a Rocket Boy levels, and they're just not good. But luckily this update gets a lot of things right. So for one, UGC is finally on consoles. Like all the arcs that people make, you can finally play them on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm really happy that we got it. I'm playing a UGC level right now from my friend Yanni Jason, and I'm having a lot of fun with this level. Basically, this is his own version of free roam that he's still working on. So yeah, UGC's on consoles. That is a big step up. I've noticed some more glitches that were fixed, like in Seb's house, his bedroom door, you would just clip through it if you went through it. They finally fixed that. So my personal favorite thing about this is they finally restored dialogue from the 1.0 version. Basically, this is the pre-day one patch version. This is the version they originally shipped out, but no one really got to play it because if you had internet, the game would force you to download the update. Unless you didn't have internet and you just played it without internet, you didn't get to play the 1.0 version. And this 1.0 version has a lot of differences. It's clear they didn't mean for any of this to actually come out, like, to the players. There's over 300 lines of deleted dialogue. Some of it's back now, not all of it. I'll get more into, you know, the stuff they still need to add back because there's still a lot of dialogue that they really need to bring back to improve the story. No one really knew about the 1.0 version until me, like when I noticed the differences because I've played the game multiple times, so I recognize the deleted dialogue, the OG loading screen, shit like that. I noticed all of that immediately. I've noticed so many differences. I have so many comparison videos on each version. And despite it being a technical disaster, I think the 1.0 version's the best version of the game. It has the best UI, it has the most dialogue, the most story depth, it has the cooler details, and the glitches, they're hilarious. So I genuinely think the 1.0 version of the game is the best version of the game. The biggest problem with the 1.0 version is the gameplay, and it makes it kind of insufferable to play sometimes, especially with the frames dropping constantly. In MindsEye's current state, the gameplay is so much smoother, and I wish we could just get the 1.0 version with that smoother gameplay, along with the new content they've added, like I said, UGC on consoles. But yeah, this is a really big update because we got UGC, we got some restored 1.0 dialogue, even lines that weren't even in the 1.0 are here. There's this whole thing where Jacob would repeat things to himself constantly, which made it feel a little bit more like a psychological thriller, which really worked in the game's favor. Yeah, almost all of those, almost all of those type of lines were just removed, starting with like the day one patch. Not only are they almost all back now, but there's even ones that weren't there before. So yeah, thanks to the UGC being on consoles, we have a lot more content. With the 1.0 dialogue being restored, we got a lot more story depth now. Like, thank you guys so much for that. I was so happy playing it when I saw you guys put stuff back. I'm just so happy. We also got a new mode called Grenade Football. While yeah, it's nice to have some new and fresh content, I don't like this mode at all. I tried one match, it just wasn't fun. On top of that, with a game like this, with such a small player base, how long is this gonna, like, be playable for? I mean, I can't see this thing being playable in, like, 5 days. Basically, this update gives us more bug fixes, it restores content that should have never been removed to begin with, it gives us UGC, so we have a lot more content now. And that is absolutely a step in the right direction. I'm so happy with all of this. That's why I genuinely believe this is the biggest update that MindsEye's had yet. And it really seemed like for the longest time that Build a Rocket Boy was not listening. They were doing nothing with the game to like make it better or anything like that, and it was just really disappointing. It just really felt like that no one was being listened to. Like every update was starting to be a letdown. It didn't seem like the feedback was actually being heard. I really didn't think there was any hope for anything to get better, but this update proves that they actually are listening. That's what inspired me to make this whole Update 8 review. So now I want to go over some bad things with this update and some just overall feedback stuff I hope get added to the game in future updates and shit like that. So one negative with this is kind of a small thing. I feel like this could very easily get fixed in like a update 8.1 or something, but at the top right of the screen there's like multiplayer icons that are in story mode. I don't know why they're in story mode. I don't know why they're locked up there. You'll be able to see them on the screen right now. Yeah, it just looks really weird, and it clips through the characters' faces, like their contact photos when they're on call. My next problem is they changed the sound effect for when the mission objective changes. I don't know why they did this, but the new noise sounds really bad. I really miss the old one. I really hope they can restore that because I really don't like this one. So next, they made it so you can't enter the crater on the new companion mission, which makes me upset because I know you're not supposed to harm the robots, but I really liked going down there and just like, looking around. You could get past the door with the fence there. But now you can't. I really want to be able to go back down there. So for some reason in the opening credits, the song Systematic used to play, but now it doesn't. I don't know why they changed that. That was the perfect opening song for the game, and it's just not there anymore. It's something else. I don't remember what it was, but I don't like it. I don't like that they changed that. It was the perfect opening, and it's just not there. The music in certain levels changed, like not just the systematic one. I feel like the tracks they replaced them with are really out of place. I kind of want them to just be like the way they were. I feel like that fit the game a lot more. For example, in the mission Solitary Confinement, the track that plays there basically now plays during a strange happening, and I feel like that music just doesn't fit a strange happening at all.
I take it this kind of thing doesn't happen every day.
It doesn't happen ever. This is really serious.
Another thing is, the music in the transponder mission, I miss the way it was before that too. I feel like it really fit that mission more, especially with Charlie's dialogue restored in that part. I really feel like the old music was a lot more fitting. So when I'm trying to look through the UGC, it says pages 1 through 3. Except for like the first time when I open the application, it doesn't really work. Like I'm pressing R1, trying to switch pages. Yeah, not working. So yeah, it's just a few like little things that I feel like could definitely be changed back. Now, for overall feedback with things I'd like added, things that, I'd like to see fixed, things I'd like to see restored, there's quite a bit. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the 1.0 version of the game, and it's my favorite version of the game, like I said before. There's some stuff in it that I would really like back, even other than just dialogue. So first off, I would just like every single bit of dialogue that was removed restored. Even give us even more dialogue that was always unused, even like before the 1.0 version. I'm really into story depth, and I really like character dialogue, especially in this game. And I believe they removed some crucial dialogue, and I can't imagine the stuff that didn't even make it to the 1.0 version. Yeah, there's still plenty of 1.0 dialogue missing.
Courtesy of Goldfield's crappy security.
Then we are a team! Over and out.
Courtesy of Goldfield's crappy security.
I'm impressed. And I don't say that lightly.
You sound a lot like Marco Silva, you know that?
I will allow that insult to pass.
You're an interesting fella, Hunter. I'll help Jake if that's what he wants to do.
Then we are a team! Over and out.
I think you're spot on. Genius. Probably insane.
Right? Hoping this device is more than just an electric shaver.
I have a whole video on it if anyone at Build a Rocket Boy wants to go take a look at it or anything. All of those lines, I feel like all of those deserve to come back. I don't think any of the old dialogue would have been restored if it weren't for me, like, constantly making comparison videos and constantly, you know, begging for the 1.0 dialogue to be restored. And this is all because I just, out of curiosity, downloaded the 1.0 version of the game last fall. I was expecting to play just like a really broken version of the game, but I didn't realize that I was going to be playing an almost completely unseen build of the game. Like, I wasn't expecting the main menu, the loading screen to be different. I wasn't expecting all the deleted lines that no one else had noticed because, well, no one else really cared. And most people just never really got the chance to play this version, whether it's, you know, because they didn't even play it out of curiosity and never installed it, whether it's because they just installed the game with Wi-Fi, which forces the update no matter what. Like, no one really got to play this version, and it's clear Build a Rocket Boy didn't really want people playing it. But I did, and I discovered so much stuff that was cut. I really don't like that all that stuff was cut. I've never played a first ever version of a game that just has that much stuff cut. Yeah, when a game gets a lot of updates, it's probably going to be quite a bit different from the 1.0 version, but I've never seen a game with a 1.0 version that has so much cut dialogue and so much cut content as MindsEye. I would like either a different main menu screen or one of the old ones back, like the day one patch main menu screen was pretty good, and especially the 1.0 version, I really like that one too. I really don't like the way it looks now. It just looks really ugly. Another thing I'd like back is the old game cover. For some reason they changed it to something where Jacob's on the screen, there's a few other characters, and like Jacob's in the middle, and it looks kind of AI generated. And it just looks really weird, and from what I've seen from other fans of the game, they don't like it either. I don't know why, they just keep changing things for no reason. Speaking of things changing for no reason, why was the weapon wheel changed? It looks ugly now. There was nothing wrong with the old one. Please, bring back the old one. Also, I would like some sort of like official free roam, like yeah, I like the UGC free roams. I would also really like an official Build a Rocket Boy free roam that actually gives us more content. I'd like a free roam where you could play as whatever story character you wanted, you know, like Jacob, Charlie, Morrison, Silva, Lamry, Burr, literally any story character. Like you could just free roam as them. Let them steal any car. So another thing with free roam, have a weather system and like a time of day, so it's not always night like the way it was before. Even do some other things, like the game has sandstorms in the story mode, add stuff like that, add like a rainy setting. And the free roam doesn't have to be like really detailed as something like GTA, just give us stuff to do, like put a few locations on the map where you can like fight against enemies, make it so you can recruit other story characters, like if I go to the factory and I go to Rigby's office, I can recruit her to come with me and, you know, fight robots and the Back9ers and the Red Sand and stuff like that. Also make it so I can interact with the NPCs as well. I don't know if you can get the cast back to do more voice lines like Alex Hernandez or Elias Defexis or anyone like that, but if you can, I'd really like to hear them like interact with NPCs. Like I would love to hear Jacob or Charlie or Morrison interact with NPCs. With dialogue that fits their character, though. Maybe have Bert be kind of intimidating or antagonistic or something like that, while Jacob's just really friendly as he always is, or Charlie, she just has like that energetic personality as she does in the game, and she's like, you know, what's up, or how's it going, and she's like all energetic about it. Just stuff like that. That would just add to the game so much. So another thing with free roam, if you do it, is if you select a character, like just let the character be at their place, or choose a place. Like if I'm Charlie, I can choose to be either at the old house that the Red Sand tried to kill her at. Or I could be at the Silva safe house and like maybe make it so I can like decorate the interiors inside and it saves when I exit or something, and do that for like each character. That would be really cool. It's stuff like that that would make the game so much more fun to play and give you a lot more to do. Also, not just interacting with NPCs, maybe let the characters interact with each other, kind of like in other games, like The Last of Us or GTA, like when you walk past a character or when you walk up to a character, they'll just, say something to each other that's just programmed to be said. Let the characters go on rides together, like let them be in the passenger seat, let them come along, maybe let the other character as an NPC drive you somewhere. Stuff like that. There should be like little sections in the game too. Like in free roam, let's say a cop bot's attacking some criminals, and you can help the cop bots attack them and maybe get some sort of reward. Like, I don't know, maybe there's like a level up system in free roam where you can unlock more stuff, because that's another thing that MindsEye lacks. MindsEye lacks progression, like leveling up and getting new stuff. It doesn't have anything like that, so you kind of just do things to do things. Which I don't mind. I mean, I like doing things to do things, but I'd also like a little bit of progression and like unlockables and stuff like that. Also, if free roam comes back, please let me use the DC-3. Also, there's very little cutscene differences between the 1.0 version and every version since the day one patch, but if there are more deleted cutscenes, if you can, I'd really like them to be restored, like the ones that would like make the most sense in terms of the game's narrative. Also in the 1.0 version, there was this little sound effect that the Hades made when it locked onto a target and fired. So it doesn't really do it anymore, and I'd want that back too, because that's just a really cool little thing. Also, there was this little beep that I really liked in the 1.0 version too that I wish would come back. I'd like a different loading screen too. I don't like the quotes. I'd like either like the 1.0 version back or maybe like an unused loading screen. In the mission to Tango with Charlie, in the 1.0 version, you kind of have to like sit around and let the audio play out before you actually go into the building. Otherwise, you'll just miss out on so much dialogue. And I really want that dialogue restored, and I feel like something should be done to change that level a little bit. Like when Jacob gets to the safe house, maybe force the car, like it does in other sections, to just like wipe out, so you have to like fight off the enemies, so you make more time for the dialogue to play out. I feel like that would be really cool. Most of the stuff from the 1.0 version, basically, I just want that all back, because all of that was so cool. I have plenty of comparison videos. So yeah, the links in the description will be for like Build a Rocket Boy, Nestor, whoever sees the video. Also, I'd like the original text font restored, like for the subtitles and like the game's text. They changed it recently. I don't know why, but it looks really ugly now, and I just want the old style back. It was so much better.
We were sent on a covert op to investigate some kind of underground power source. But something went wrong with my DC. It attacked my squad. Some were killed. I think they blame me. Charlie is Robin Hood. She hacked the CIA. She can help me. Build a little trust. Can I trust her?
Also, in the 1.0 version of the game, during the SM3 boss fight, the SM3 has a really cool voice that's just not in the game anymore. They replaced it with some boring shit.
Extending combat territory. Initiating combat territory. Aggressive advance. Initiating combat advance. Initiating combat. Aggressive combat procedure.
Who wears a metal suit to a gunfight?
I'd really like that back. That voice is just so much more badass. So I really think all SM3 should have that voice back with that dialogue. It's actually really cool that that SM3 Well, okay, it wasn't programmed perfectly. You can tell that they didn't have, like, the dialogue working right in time. But for the most part, the lines were programmed, like, when they were supposed to be. The SM3 will say things like, if you disappear, or, like, it's not in your sight, he'll say something like, visual lost. And then when you pop back out and he sees you, he'll be like, enemy spotted, you know, stuff like that. I'd really love stuff like that, instead of having the current boring voice where like 80% of their dialogue is just them saying, advancing. So I'm a console player, I don't have access to build mode myself, but I have heard some complaints from other people that are builders and do make arcs. One of the biggest things is not being able to put your own audio in it. So the game kind of forces the builders to put in like text to read instead. They're not actually able to put in their own voice lines or audio clips. I feel like that would really add to the arcs if characters could be voiced and have voice lines from the builders. So there's not too many arcs in the game yet, but you know, more and more are going to be added to the game. To make arcs that we play and like easier to find, maybe add like a favorites thing, like a little add to favorites thing, and then there's like a whole section where you can like scroll through your favorites. So another thing that I'm confused on is the fact that when the credits roll now, the reveal of Rigby being a robot plays. There's a deleted conversation in the 1.0 version where Silva and Morrison revealed to Rigby that she's actually a robot. Yeah, completely removed until recently where it's in the credits. Honestly, I think it's a mistake. It sounds like it was an accident.
Tell me, you're freaking me out. Well, it's just that, well, you're not entirely human. And by that, I mean, well, you're human to me. Tell me, you're freaking me out. Well, it's just that, Locking down area. Well, you're not entirely human. And by that, I mean...
Maybe they were planning to possibly bring it back, but they mistakenly put it in that part. I don't know. Also, in the 1.0 version, at the end, the flashbacks of Charlie play, and I think they're really cool, and I think they should be restored too. So I'm not sure what the track that plays is called during the credits, but I know that in the 1.0, it was Monster by Rival Consoles. I think that was a better song for the credits than the current one. I also like the original, like, end credit title screen more. I'll play what that looks like now. Yeah, I think that's a lot cooler. So yeah, if like possible, I'd like all that restored too. I also really think Melee should be added to the game. In a recent interview with Leslie Benzies, he said that he had Melee working, but they decided to not put it in the game because it's not Street Fighter. That reasoning doesn't make much sense to me because Leslie worked on GTA 3, 4, 5, and all those games had Melee in it. They weren't Street Fighter. But for some reason when it comes to MindsEye, no, we can't have Melee. It's not Street Fighter. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I mean, when I have people try MindsEye for the first time, one of the first things they ask is, wait, how do you melee? They go, wait, you can't melee? On the mission Robin Hood, there used to be a couple NPCs that were just there shooting bottles. They're just gone now. I don't know why they removed it. I know it's not really a big deal, but I really just love little details. All the little things add up to a big feeling, if that makes sense. So in the current version of the game, the cutscenes are a little bit too desaturated. One of the videos in the description will be a comparison video I made about the 1.0 versus the current version cutscenes. You'll notice that it's a lot more colorful in the 1.0. It looks a lot nicer. I'd really like that back. So another thing I find really cool in the 1.0 version is the fact that the DC3 functions were changed using a weapon wheel. There's only 4 DC functions, so it makes sense why they changed it to what it is now, where you just hold down R1 and then push whatever function you want to use. But because there's only 4 functions, and there's a weapon wheel, maybe that implies that there was supposed to be 8 functions, because there's 4 boxes with nothing in them. I wonder if that could somehow be implemented back with more DC functions. So MindsEye is a really story-based game, obviously, so it has a lot of characters. I would really like character bios, like maybe a tab in the game where you can inspect the characters, like as they show up in the story. Like, let's say when Charlie's revealed, you go in the characters section, and then you can see how old she is, like how tall she is, maybe a little backstory there. Like Spider-Man PS4 did that. Yeah, I just like knowing general details about characters, so I feel like that'd be a neat little feature to add. So the SM2 robots are more like servant bots in the game. They don't actually fight, they don't use guns and whatnot. They're mostly for like assistance, but I think it would be cool to see them actually do things. Like, yeah, we get to see them cleaning glass or something. I mean, especially with a game with a lot of explosions, what if we get like some of them that are like firefighters? That'd be really cool. So there's plenty of places in the game where you can go that you probably wouldn't expect because of how linear the game is. Like Charlie's old house, certain other rooms in the story, but I'd like a little bit more. You can't enter Okada's lab in the game at all, unless it's cutscenes, so you can't actually like look around in there or anything. I don't know why this only ever happened. I only ever saw this once. My very first time playing the 1.0 version, I can't be tripping. I remember at one point the game gave me 150 health. Like, it upgraded my health to 150. I never saw it happen again. And I swear that eventually later it also got to 200. This wasn't during a playthrough, by the way. This was just my first time testing it out on Xbox when I loaded up a save from the current version before that file got corrupted and fucked itself. I feel like that should also be another thing that gets added to the game. Like, maybe as you go on, you get more health and your health upgrades, especially with how many enemies show up near the end of the game. Back then, there used to be this thing where you can inspect the Silva factory. Now you can't. I don't know why. I'd like even more little, like, hidden interactable things. Kind of similar to the Lamry audio logs, Jacob reading off the kin symbols. I kind of want a bit more like that. And also just, like, inspecting things and like, the way the game already gives out, like, little information about things. Like in Silva's house, there's a little chip that you can inspect, and it gives you information about it. I feel like there should be a little bit more of that in the game. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad that they got what they got, but I want a bit more. Because, again, like, this is just a really interesting world. This is an interesting setting and everything, and I just like to know as much about it as possible, like, expand the lore. Another big thing is, I don't know if this is even possible at this point, but we need some more, like, story expansions. So this new update gives us a new cutscene ending revealing what the hell happens to Jacob when he jumps through the portal. And I'm glad. I've always wondered that. It's always, like, fucked with my head. And we finally get an explanation. But what about everything else? Mayor Vega's in critical condition and she disappears. After Travis sends Bert to kill Charlie and Jacob in the A Tango with Charlie mission, he's only mentioned one other time and he's never really seen again. I mean, according to the game script, the shit found in the game files, I guess Travis was supposed to be killed off, but if Travis was supposed to be killed off, like the script suggests, it's not in the game. So whatever happens to Travis is just completely unknown. We also never learn why Claudia was pissed at Silva. I mean, she shows up one more time before the game ends, and before anything else can happen, she kind of just escapes, and then she's never mentioned again. And Charlie dies too early too. I mean, the game says, oh, well, Charlie's not even Charlie's real name. Charlie's lying to you. And, you know, she has this thing where she wants 32K, right? There's like this big mystery about the significance of that number. Yeah, never revealed. It's just a dead plot point. It's really interesting, but it's just gone. They killed her off, so yeah. Killing Charlie off that soon was a really big mistake. They have to find some way to explain the significance of the number 32. They have to find some way to explain Charlie's actual motivation, her actual intentions. What was the point of building up all that mystery just to kill her off before any of that could be fleshed out? What was the point? I feel like there's plenty of deleted content with Charlie too. One of the game trailers shows a shot of her and Jacob that isn't even in the game. If there's like extra cutscenes with Charlie that could be added to the game that actually fit in the game the way it currently is, I would really like those back too, because I don't know, I'm a big fan of Charlie and her character has a lot of potential, but a lot of that potential was wasted with the fact that she just dies before anything about her can be fleshed out. There's also these little checkpoint arrows or something that the game has now as of like update 7, I think. And I don't know, the game just treats you like you're 4 years old or something, and yeah, I don't need those. Maybe have that on like the easy difficulty, but don't keep them on like every difficulty. Don't keep them on like medium or hard. Also, I really don't like that the air in the vent was removed a couple updates ago in the scene where you go in Claudia's apartment. Maybe keep it disabled for the easy difficulty and then keep it on for like the medium and hard difficulty. I feel like that's better than just removing it entirely. So like anyone that plays the game on easy, they can just go right through that section. While, you know, there's a little bit of a challenge for people on medium and hard. In the 1.0 version, Lamry's warbots, whatever they're called, the game never even gives them an actual name. In the 1.0 version, they were able to be hacked, but now, as of like the day 1 patch and any version so on, you can't hack them anymore. I feel like that should come back too. And yeah, basically any deleted content like cutscenes or dialogue, like stuff that wasn't even in the 1.0 version, I really hope that gets looked at and considered into bringing back, because I'd like some extra stuff in the game too. Like anything from 1.0 dialogue wise, and anything in the vault that fits the game, I feel like all of that should be added too. Just for the best possible experience, the best possible story. I mean, Leslie Benzies said that this game's going to have a lot of depth, but the thing is, starting with the day 1 patch, he removed a lot of it, or Build a Rocket Boy removed a lot of it. I don't know who makes those decisions. I don't understand why those decisions were made. Like, so much was cut last minute, and it's ridiculous. And I know this is a thing with games, like, stuff gets cut, there's unused gameplay mechanics, dialogue, things with like every game. But when it's literally in the 1.0 version, and it makes the game better, and it's just gone now, that's just really frustrating. If you're a fan of the game, like me, and you care about the story. But yeah, I think the biggest things with the game that need to be added are definitely restore all the old dialogue and add anything else that wasn't even in the 1.0 version. I think that is the most crucial thing to do. I want the old main menu screen, or just a new one that looks nice. With the old main menu music too, that would be really cool. So I also noticed in the 1.0 version that there's buses on the highway, and they just kind of bug out, and I'm assuming that's why they're not like on the actual road anymore in the game. You can find them on like the side of the road just chilling, but they're not actually moving. I feel like those should come back too, because I don't know, I mean, it's just nice to see more of a vehicle variety on the street. Also, while playing the game, I feel like I constantly see the same NPCs. I think there should be like more models, new models for NPCs, like different people. I don't care if they necessarily have like the same voices or same dialogue. Just make some more. I mean, it's just so much of the same people. Yeah, I mean, this game has so much potential if the work can be put in. If they have as much passion as I do as a fan for the game to be better and for the game to have more stuff and just to be more fun and have a more in-depth story, this game could be so much more. And I can't even imagine like what the game would be like if they, you know, just even started to do these things and just kept adding on to the game, like adding stuff to the game that I'm saying. I mean, you already have a decent start with update 8. I hope they keep like expanding upon that. I know that apparently Build a Rocket Boy, they want to focus more on Arcadia or everywhere, whatever. But, you know, when MindsEye is supposed to be the premium experience for all that, I feel like they should keep adding stuff to MindsEye too, you know? Now, I mean no disrespect when I say this. I know people are putting a lot of time and effort behind the scenes and whatnot to make these, but I don't really think multiplayer is something that should be a big focus. Especially when it is difficult to find servers in this game, because it just doesn't have a steady player base. Even if you go to the Discord server or Reddit and tell people to hop on, the odds are you're probably not going to find a full match. Whether it's racing, grenade football, because another thing is there's no progression, so I mean, every multiplayer has progression. With MindsEye's multiplayer, there's nothing to make it stand out. There's nothing that would make someone who plays Call of Duty or Fortnite or Apex, there's nothing that would make them want to say, oh yeah, let's try that out. Let's play that new MindsEye multiplayer. Like, that's just not something that people are going to think, especially with how many other multiplayer games there are. MindsEye multiplayer doesn't do anything unique or special to win new players over. And again, I don't mean that with any disrespect. I'm just saying that's how I feel. So the thing is, multiplayer is basically just the game everywhere. I feel like everywhere in MindsEye should just be separate. I think it makes way more sense to just let them be separate. I mean, I know they have the new cutscene now where Jacob goes through the portal and it leads to everywhere and whatever the hell that was. I mean, I don't know why they did that. I didn't like the new cutscene. I like that we get an explanation for what happens when Jacob jumps through the portal. I always wondered that because like it feels like they just ended the game at a random point. Well, they did. But now at least we get an explanation, but I don't really understand what the point of that was. I really think MindsEye and Everywhere should just be different things. I hope that's not a stupid thing to say. There might be something that I don't know about Everywhere that forces it to be tied with MindsEye. I guess MindsEye was heavily made using like the build mode in Everywhere. I mean, I know they basically use the same build mode. I did see in old UI showcases where in the main menu it would say return to everywhere, which makes more sense if they did it that way. Like if they connected the two, but basically anything in everywhere, like grenade football or the multiplayer races was just in everywhere, and then MindsEye was there too. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I understand them being connected to each other in terms of like, you know, quit to everywhere or go to MindsEye, but I don't think they should have like the same modes. Like, I don't think everywhere multiplayer should be in MindsEye. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Especially when everywhere, it just looks nothing like MindsEye. If I had no idea what this grenade football mode was and you showed me a picture of it, I would never ever guess that that's the new MindsEye multiplayer. It doesn't look anything like MindsEye, which is another reason why grenade football should just be in everywhere, just kept separate.
Chosen.
Strength. Wisdom. Strength. Wisdom.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on MindsEye Update 8. I'm genuinely really happy with this, and I really hope Build a Rocket Boy considers my suggestions and keeps on improving the game. Thank you for watching. Thank you to anyone at Build a Rocket Boy that's watching this or taking it into consideration. Hopefully, this game has a good future. I thought it was just going to keep going downhill, but it seems like Build a Rocket Boy really want to make a comeback now. And it's really showing by simply listening to the players and just taking steps forward to making this game better. I'm really happy with the new content other than the shotgun soccer shit. I think that's terrible. I don't think multiplayer should be a focus in this game at all. Update 8 delivers a lot more. It restores some stuff, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with this update. This is the best update so far. I really hope in a few months, you know, if Update 9 comes out, it fixes most, if not everything that I mentioned. Maybe it'll be even better than that. Maybe it'll be even worse. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, Build a Rocket Boy. Any of you guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for considering my suggestions. If you do, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the feedback, and thanks for the great update. I'm really impressed with it. Alright, peace out.